Hi, it's Sharon again. I wanted to give you some scriptures of identity crisis. People have an identity crisis in the Bible. This is identity crisis 2, part 2. I didn't think there was going to be a part 2, but it came to my mind. Scriptures came to my mind. And I wanted to let you know why people have an identity crisis. In the book of Numbers 13:31 through 33, the Israelites did not have any confidence in themselves, and they did not believe they could fight the giants and the Amaleks in the Bible. When Joshua was going to go walk around the city, and 7 times at that time, they did not have the confidence. They didn't believe that they could fight the giants. The low self-esteem come in when they said that we are as grasshoppers. They called themselves grasshoppers. They called the other people giants. They didn't believe that they could, and God was angry about that. And here's another chapter in Numbers, the 14th chapter. Read that. The people saying they wanted to go back in the world. Let's make another captain over us. Let's go back to Egypt. When people have an identity crisis, they backslide repeatedly over and over. They want to go back in the world. They want to go back where it's comfortable. They want to go back because they don't believe that they can. And that's in Numbers, the 14th chapter. And identity crisis is also a token of unbelief. Hebrews 3:12 through 19. They could not enter in because of unbelief. Unbelief blocks everything. Unbelief is a result of an identity crisis and not having confidence in yourself. 1 Samuel 15 and 17 and 26. King Saul did not have patience to wait on Samuel. He was self-willed. They were waiting on Samuel to bring the sacrifice. This is the first time around. They were waiting on Samuel to bring the sacrifice, and he waited 7 days, and Samuel showed up a few minutes late after 7 days. But Saul was self-willed, was impatient, and the people pressured him, and he offered to sacrifice himself, which he was not authorized to do. And Samuel showed up. He said that he was foolish to disobey the commandments of God. You disobeyed God again, King Saul. You did it your way. Your sin is a sin of witchcraft. So, and I think it was the second time King Saul was supposed to kill all the Amalekites. He was supposed to kill the king and all the people, men, women, children, stocks, animals, and destroy the accursed thing. He was supposed to kill everything, but he killed the most vile and the worthless things and kept the king alive and kept the sheep and kept the best of the flocks and kept the stuff, the spoil. They kept the spoil. The people kept the spoil, and he kept it. And King Saul said he did it. He let the people run him over. He didn't have self-esteem. He did not have enough self-esteem. And Samuel said, you were small. You thought yourself to be small in your own sight. You were small in your own sight. The Lord made you king. He gave you a kingdom. He gave you a kingdom to rule over Israel. But you felt like you were small in your own sight and you disobeyed God. So read 1 Samuel 15, 17 through 26 on that. Read 1 Samuel 16, 14 and 15 where God rejected Samuel. Low self-esteem causes unbelief. Unbelief causes sin. Elapses in sin. When people have low self-esteem, they fall into unbelief quickly. They don't believe that they can. They don't have the confidence. This is identity crisis too. And also found some scriptures to combat the identity crisis. But it's really best to do it when you first come into salvation, when God first brings you into the church. But it's never too late to start. You read Jeremiah 29:11, Philippians 4:13, Isaiah 41:10, and Philippians 1:6. That will eliminate the identity crisis. Read those scriptures over and over. God has a good plan for you, to prosper you, not to harm you, to bring you good, not evil. And I can do all things through Christ which strengthen me. You know, we have to say it until we believe it. You know, and I've been guilty of the same thing. But you could be so down that you just can't do anything. You can't get up with identity crisis. Identity crisis comes as a result of low self-esteem and being overlooked, rejected by people, and counted small by people, and people looking down on you, and people rejecting you, parents rejecting you, authority rejecting you. So you have to find out and make your calling and election sure. I wanted to give you scriptures in Identity Crisis Part 2. I just wanted to give you some scriptures. I really wasn't ready on the first video, but this is the second video. But identity crisis is caused from the spirit of rejection and low self-esteem and, you know, curses and tragedies and things never working out, things like that. There's more scriptures. I may have part 3, 4, and 5. I'm not sure, but if God impresses me, I'll give more scriptures. But again, I'm going to give you the scriptures for the identity crisis. Who had the identity crisis in the Word of God? It's just a couple people that I found in the Bible. King Saul in the Bible, and the children of Israel, Numbers 14th chapter, 13th and 14th chapter. The children of Israel did not believe that they saw themselves as grasshoppers. And when you don't think nothing of yourself, nobody else does, unfortunately. So that's why you got to find out, make your calling and election sure. And I'm doing this because a man of God asked me to put something on video. I put my face on video on the first one, but this is Identity Crisis 2, and I just wanted to put the second, part on, and there may be more to come, but scriptures came to my mind, the people came to my mind. This is the Old Testament people, but there's probably New Testament. Judas had low self-esteem too, but there's people that had low self-esteem in the Bible, and this is Identity Crisis Part 2. So I just wanted to put that down there, and I hope it helps somebody. But make your calling and election sure, and seek God first, Matthew 6:33, and get your foundation in Jesus Christ. I think it's Matthew 16 through 18. And the gates of hell shall not, raise against the church. The church shall not fall. Something like that. But anyway, know who you are. Ask God who you are. Ask God your election. Ask God your purpose. Ask God what His will is for you. Pray, fast, read the Bible, seek God, and be relentless in seeking God. And ask God to keep you every day, because you can't do nothing without Jesus Christ. Absolutely nothing. That's according to St. John 15:5 and 6. You can't do nothing without Jesus Christ. You got to ask God to keep you every day. You got to ask God to keep you and help you. I do that every day. I'm surprised that I survived 42 years not knowing who I am, what I am, where I'm going, or anything. And the prayers of the righteous, keeps people afloat. So I'm not doing anything of my own. And I'm putting legs on my faith. I'm trying to use what little knowledge that I have to help someone else that God revealed. I used to be called a Bible dean. But they shot me down so bad that I stopped studying and reading the Bible like I used to. But, God still let me keep some of the Word of God in my heart, and scriptures came to my mind, people came to my mind, and I'll find some New Testament people that had identity crisis, still possibly. So I just wanted to give you that one, and may God bless you, and may God keep you, and may God bless you, and peace be unto you, and everyone have a nice day. And overcoming identity crisis, number 2. So I just wanted to put that out, and everyone have a nice weekend. And I guess that's all for now. I ain't got nothing else to say. God bless everyone.